So this ties, I mean, you did an awesome segue, actually, just in your comments. I'm tying it right into the parliamentary committee hearings in the past week. What's not being said, what is being said. So, I mean, the one that was just done, which was yesterday on 6th of May, it was the Department of National Defense. They had their head of psychiatry, they had the Surgeon General, and they had the head doctor for Veterans Affairs. And they're, I guess, kind of, I don't want to really call it a rebuttal of the testimony of Drs. Ritchie and Dr. Nevin, but it was, I guess, supposed to be as a balanced testimony. And I know that you've already made some comments online and stuff like that, but I'm going to leave it to you to introduce first your opinions, because I know I have mine and they're very strong and I don't want to talk over to you. So what's your first impression, first of all, I guess?
Well, this is the second time that I've listened to the Canadian Armed Forces brass come and give their spiel on Mefloquine. Obviously, this time it was a little different. There's been litigation brought up against them, so their attitude has changed, I've seen, in the last little bit. But yeah, I'm kind of still disappointed in our government, and especially the Department of National Defense. And I felt like it was a lot of politics being played there. There wasn't a lot of authentic statements being made. It was more a protective defensive maneuver. But on a positive note, I did feel like this time when they came, they were a little less stringent on even admitting that Mefloquine can cause injury. I did listen to Dr. Nevin and Dr. Ritchie's testimony as well on Friday or Thursday, was it?
Yeah, the first, I know that, but yeah.
Yeah, so it basically sounded like committee meeting 2.0. It was almost the exact same talking points that were brought up on both sides, and it's almost like Dr. Nevin and Ritchie were saying what we were thinking as the public, like, you've had this much time knowingly now and you've still done nothing. You have no derogative to even want to go screen the military to see if there's a possible linkage to the drug. Like, it's just mind-blowing to hear the things they were saying.
Yeah, I think it was either Jetley or Dow. I'm not sure which it was, but either way, they're representing military. And essentially they're saying, okay, we would benefit most by a population-based research, right? Mm-hmm. But then when asked why they haven't done or why they won't do population-based research, their response is, well, we can't diagnose Mefloquine, and even if we could diagnose it, we can't treat it other than symptomatically. So there's no point in doing a population-based research.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, like you're a doctor and you're representing, you know, don't get. Yeah.
I made some notes here while I was listening along, and they claim that 18,000 Canadian Armed Forces have been given Mefloquine in a period of time. And then I looked up the numbers just for Afghanistan. 40,000 people were deployed.
Yeah.
So I just don't, those numbers aren't adding up to me, because I know we were generically issued the drug.
Well, yeah, the other thing that I believe it was Dow that was saying it as well, was that that was the Surgeon General, is that when it comes to being able to contact by population, they don't have this ability. They don't know who's taken it and who didn't. But in another statement, he says, well, it would be on their pharmacy records. Well, I was the pharmacy rep for the Airborne Regiment. I can tell you that drug never went through a record in any capacity, never got entered on in 2016. It was unrecorded. It showed up in a large bottle. We broke it down and dished it out. So it brought up to my mind a disconnect as well. So the people that are testifying today have no connection to what actually took place in that era, and they have no knowledge. I mean, here's a Surgeon General today believing that the pharmacy cards have all the answers.
Yeah. That leads me into one of the things I wanted to mention too, is how badly the military and Veterans Affairs have compartmentalized their institutions to be able to feed off each other for the denial of negligence. They just basically point the finger at the different compartmentalized institutions, and it defers away from any of the questions you ask them, you know.
Yes.
They're able to just basically keep us chasing our tails when never getting the answers that we want to know. So
Yeah.
that's totally the tactic, you know. We've
Yeah.
seen it.
The other thing, I'm not sure if you picked up on this as well, but the other thing that I found really interesting is that Jetley, it acts as an advisor, an advisory capacity to Homewood. Homewood is running.
I took some notes on that actually.
Yeah.
Too.
And so, I mean, he gets paid to act in that capacity. And go ahead.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure that out when they brought that up, because I'm not up to par on the Homewood place and things like that. So he had mentioned a $600,000 grant that he was listed as receiving through Veterans Affairs.
Yeah.
Something to that degree, and it got a little awkward, I guess, when they brought the questions up. It was like hit him from the side a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the direct question was how much of that goes towards Mefloquine? Zero. How much of but then at the same time they're saying, well, we keep track of all the international reports, but then they had no knowledge on what's going on internationally. And
and then there's the $17 million PTSD hospital treatment center that was supposed to be under creation, and they had no good answers on that either. So that's a lot of money.
The non-center for excellence, center for excellence. It's a non-center. It doesn't exist, and they don't even know what it's doing or what it's researching at this point in time.
Yeah, so it's frustrating, especially not only as a veteran but Canadian taxpayers, to know that this much money has just been given into an account and it sits there not knowing what they're doing with it, as we need funds like never before, and it's just more squandering waste, I find, anyway. Being in the forces, we see the waste that can occur, and it is frustrating to know that people are on the line paying for that. I think came out not too long ago, what was it, that the average Canadian is paying 42.5% of their household income to taxes. So that's just a little bit of the frustration that we're feeling, especially as Mefloquine veterans dying for any kind of a research or treatment option, you know.